Religion must go. Religion is not needed. And people always want to make an excuse of how religion is needed because it gives people order, it gives people discipline. They try to make all these excuses of why religion is so needed. And no one has said a valid point to why religion is needed. Because if you're saying that religion is needed because of order, because it gives people emotional coping, that is the number one reason why it is not needed. Because you're band-aiding, you're putting the band-aid over your avoidance, right? So instead of you coping with the healing mechanisms that you need to heal within you, you go to church where everyone in the building is trying to heal. So everything is just pulling on your energy and you're trying to figure out why you still feel the same way you feel. Excuse the jets. Right? So you sit in the church and you're trying to figure out why your energy is feeling so drained. And I made a short on this. I spoke on that part why you feel draining even after going to a church ceremony. Right? Because everything is energy. And they know that this is why religion is based on fear. Because that energy is energy harvesting. So everyone comes into this place thinking that there's going to be change, but it's not. It's putting you more into a deeper mental disorder. And you're thinking that you're actually releasing when you're not. You're coping. You're band-aiding. When it comes to religion, right, it's based off fear. It's based off avoidance. And the only way for the world to harmonize itself back is to go within. Now, I don't know what's wrong with people in feeling like that is so demonic to go within. Like, and that's what I'm saying. The mental disorder, the mental illness that they put on our people, it's sick. It's very sickening, and it's very hard to watch. Like, I know that, a lot of us have woken up. A lot of us had already understand the truth of it all, right? But to know and to, also walk amongst the people who are still sick in the mind is very sickening, right? So, no, I don't care how people feel when I say religion must go. Religion is not needed, because it is not. If you are needing to heal, you need to sit with yourself with those emotions and allow yourself to gain that self-knowledge of your emotions. Right? You feel it. With anything I've been through, I've sat with my feelings, with my emotions, mainly myself. Right? So I know a lot of people's trauma and weight is very deep, and they might need like literally a therapist. But you're having someone beside you. You're not just band-aiding your traumas. And when you band-aid your traumas, this is how family traditions continue to happen in loops. because no one wants to change. No one wants to go inner. To make true change, you have to be able to change yourself. Beyond titles. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're Jehovah. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care. I don't care if you're Buddhist. I don't care about none of those titles. If you do not do the inner work, you are truly not doing no work. I don't care how many Bible verses you read. I don't care how many prayers you do. I don't care. If you do not go inner, you are not doing the work. Society has this way of always worrying about time. They're always worried about titles. If you're not a Christian, you're demonic. If you're not this person, you're this person. If you're not good, then you're evil. It's just so much division. This was history back in the day. We need to keep on pushing this on. Like, it's too much division, distractions. It's too much. And this is why I say you must do the inner work, because when it comes to religion, it's not truly about you connecting to the higher power. It's about you being controlled. Making sure you stay in low self-esteem. Because if you know your power, you don't depend on them. So you really have to take your mind, right? Take your mind out of everything you were learned. Take your mind out of everything you were taught, right? Take yourself out of everything you were taught and start to think for yourself. Read certain things. Look beyond the Bible. Even read the Bible and understand your perception from it. Not read a scripture and take from what was taught to you, from your pastor, from your grandmother, for any of that. No, look at the words and read them for yourself. Look at the patterns from your family to everyday culture activities. You will see the loop, the damaging loop. Like, you would think that the noose was taken off, but the noose was just rebranded. You would think after segregation and all of that, the noose will be taken off. But it is not. It has been rebranded. Christianity has become the noose. Energetically, mentally, physically, spiritually. When you look at the psychological patterns of everything you see, from the stories to everyday life, you will realize how fucked up this religion is. You will realize how much they have rewritten to destroy the women. Now, my fight is not about matriarchy, patriarchy, because I don't give a fuck about that either. I don't care about titles. I don't. So this is not even an argument about that. Like, we're not even about to get to that either. We've got the matriarch. No, I don't care about none of that. what needs to happen is everybody needs to go inner. That's my main thing. Because you need to understand what's going on inside of you. We're so wrapped up in performance. We're so wrapped up in external validation, external approval, and definitely from men. You're nothing without God. You're, pray to Father God. Women want to be weird and straight call him daddy. Like, it's such a fetish, weird. It's so weird. And I don't think people are really noticing the weirdness of how this shit is. Right? I'm not calling on my daddy who, didn't walk on this earth with me and who didn't help me while my mama was pushing my big head ass out. Like, we're not doing that. When I speak on Gaia or Tiamat, however you want to, give her the name Nature, right? Nature. She is divine mother. But I don't go crazy with this, oh, she's my mother, she's my mother. She's divine mother. She is the archetype of motherly energy. Right? So if we are logically looking at this information, right, if above is supposed to be father and below, which is nature, that's supposed to be motherly energy, and again, above would be fatherly energy, as you see what's been going on, we've been moving on fatherly energy. Which we also know that men like to move in egotistical ways. So it would make sense to know that God, that they have you guys, preaching to, worshiping to, is an egotistical being. Because if you break it down from masculine to feminine ways, we know that the masculine is mainly set in ego, whereas the motherly energy is mainly set into caring and nurturing. So when you look at, this is why yin and yang goes into hand. This is why the divine and masculine goes in hand, because it's not about male versus female. It's about the energy exchange. Energy, that is the root of everything. Everything. If you let go of titles, we are looking at the frequency. We are looking at the energy. Right? We have to open our minds. We have to stop limiting godly powers. And let's speak on God real quick. Because since we're already talking about titles, since we're already talking about religion, I want to go into this thing of titles, right? Because when we say God, there's a limit there. Like, Christians want to scream that God is alive, God is a living being, God is everything, everywhere, but yet still come to a conclusion that, God is only in the Bible, or people don't know God if you don't read the Bible, or you don't know God if you don't go to church. All these weird things, they contradict themselves and they don't even know it. Because one minute you're telling me that God is living, God is everything and everywhere, but then you tell me that I don't know God because I'm not reading the Bible or because I'm not in church. So the work that is given to them, the framework that is given to these people, is the Bible. Energetically, the Bible contradicts itself. In reality, it shows up in the people who represent this work. So, all these damn jets, man. I'm sorry, y'all. When you look at that work like that, right? And that's actually my formula. That's how I know that, like, my formula can be used amongst, personal life, business life, religious, occult knowledge. Because I go from the unseen to the energetics to reality. Right? So the unseen is where your I am is. Christianity people, they don't have the I amness. The I am is the oneness with the higher power. But because they were given a framework that excludes them as one with higher power, their unseen identity is validated through an entity that puts them in the reality of external validation. Right? So you look at this and it's just like, wow, like freaking wow. And, I've always known that there was something weird about Christianity. There was something weird. Like, I've watched my pops, my mom, create their own church, create their own, like their own stage. I watched them, like, in our house, in the basement. I've watched them, to see my pops preach on the stage. And this was not my knowledge, before he passed away. Like, I didn't get here yet. So now I'm seeing myself being in this position where I talk and deconstruct religion. I really wish I had that one last talk with my pops and to see where his mind is with this, because I know where my mom is. I know where her mind is with this. Like, she's already told me more since I've came out with, how I feel about religion and stuff. And, me and her, we have those conversations. But it's with my pops. Like, he's cool as fuck. So, and that's the thing. I really wish I had that last conversation with him, because he was a minister. He was on the stage preaching. I watched him do it. But I also know the story of him being in the streets while my mom was a banker, and she took him out of the streets, changed his life around. So I know how the energy of God works. Right? And this is why I don't look at God as limitation. I look at it as energy exchange. Because you don't have to pick up a Bible to know God. You have to have human connections. Human connection is where you see God. People can save you today, tomorrow. They can say something to you, anything, and change your life. And when it, it's, I'm venting. So if I pause too long, my bad, okay? But these are my thoughts. Like, these are my thoughts, and I'm sharing them with you in the most rawest way ever. Like, I'm not editing anything or reading anything. These are literally my thoughts of how I think on why religion is not needed. Because I don't think people really see the toll on themselves, and it's sad. Like the other day, it wasn't even the other day, it was literally yesterday. I watched a video. I was just scrolling, and there was a girl in the car with her mom, and it said, "I'm going to prank my mom, and act like I don't believe in God," or something like that. And that right there is a miscommunication, because first of all, she said, I'm pranking my mom to think I don't believe in God. And then her words were pretty much trying to tell her mother that God is within us. So that right there is a very huge miscommunication, because when we say God is within us, we're not saying we don't believe in a higher power. That's not what we're saying. So it saddens me that, for one, this girl has genuine conversations. Two, she's having a feel of waking up to her power, and her mom is shutting her down, because her mom has grown up in what we all have been in, traditional religion, traditional Christianity, right? So she's like, God is within us, and I wish I could find the video, but that was like one of her main things she had said. And her mom looked at her and was like, "What? God is within you? Well, I want to see you die and come back then." And it's just like, why? Why do I have to die and come back for me to be considered a god? That was not the only thing. If we're referring to Yeshua, that was not the only thing he fucking did. He didn't just fucking die and resurrected. Like, is that all y'all fucking stuck on? He healed the poor. He healed the sickness out of people. He did an act of service. So while she thought she was doing something, the mom telling her daughter that, well, I would like to see you die and then come back to consider her approval for power, is sickening. And you see what I mean by patterns? Because they brainwashed our people so bad to the point they fear their own fucking power. When you say God is within us, right? When we say God is within us, that is not moving out of ego. We are honoring the fact that we are one with the divine. There's no we forgot God, or we forgot the higher power, we forgot source. That's not the tension. We are in a higher mindset of stop allowing division to rule the world. Because if that is the issue, as long as everything is divided, there will be chaos. If you know today that you do not need a Bible, you do not need to go to church to heal, to have community, they will lose their power. This is why they fear you. They give you a devil to fear. They give you a hell to fear. They give you a entity to fear. So you do not know nor understand your own power, nor will you step in your own power because they put so much fear in you. Now, does that make any sense to you? Because the most inhumane, sickening ass people are still walking this world, and you are telling me that they put that much fear in you that you are so scared to tap into yourself. Meanwhile, you are driving next door to a fucking pedophile. Like, are we not thinking? How the fuck are we going through famine? Not us, but the world. Sudan. Why are places going through famine? Why? Why are we losing jobs? How? If I go down the block, there's fucking lots of unconstructed buildings. If the city don't bring their ass outside and tear that shit down so it could be a new job built, they don't want you to win. They don't want you to have power. You have to want it. You have to own that shit. You have to call your power in, reclaim your power. Because if you don't, they are going to continue to take your power from you. Our ancestors did that shit enough. This shit has to stop. Like, as much as y'all want to think and feel like religion is needed, it is not. You need to gain and hold the discipline and the accountability for yourself. This is the raw root of spirituality. Before any Bible, before any words, it was you. So while people want to sit here and say spirituality is such new age and the Bible is so historical and da-da-da-da-da, do you not understand that before anybody could write, type, any of that, it was just you and your fucking spirit? Like, it's not an argument. It's a fact. But they will make it an argument because of the damage they put on our people. Excuse my neighbors, y'all. If y'all hear they big asses walking around. But it's the the damaging. And they don't realize how damaged they are internally. People have to take accountability for themselves. You have to understand emotional intelligence. If your child is acting out, sit with them. You talk about you're going to rebuke them in the name of Jesus and all this silly nonsense. Fuck all that shit. Sit the fuck down with your child. Sit the fuck down with yourself. And figure out what the fuck is going on internally. Because the last thing these children need is to be preyed on and not listened to. This is what's wrong with most of the people in our black community. There are serious issues. There are serious traumas with people, and all your Christian family can do is pray on you and rebuke you. When you honestly need someone to talk to vent to ask questions to. Oh yeah, speaking of asking questions, back to the prank. The girl looked at the camera and said, "What do y'all think?" The mother said, "How are you going to ask them? What do they think?" And then she goes off and say, as the girl was saying that God is within me and stuff like that, and she had asked her a question, and she was like, "Don't talk about that in my car. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that." How are you in the same sentence telling your child to not talk to you about something because it's making you uncomfortable. But turn around when she's asking for help, you tell her to not ask the people on social media for help. Who the fuck is she gonna ask? If you telling her, no, don't talk about this in my car, don't talk about this with me, who else is she gonna ask? Like, you see what I'm saying? They don't realize what they're doing to the children. They don't realize, the adults is who I'm talking about. The adults of Christianity. They don't realize the damage that they are putting on the children. When a teenager, whatever, an adult, when people have questions, allow the questions to come through. This is where I allow myself to be a great listener. I don't care how uncomfortable the question may be. I'm still going to allow you to ask your question or say what you have to say. I don't like shutting people down because I know how it feels to be shut down. I know how it feels to not be listened to. I know how it feels to be misunderstood. So I allow myself to be a great listener. Right? Because people, they get mad. Adults get mad when children don't listen to them. But when you do shit like that, like I just said with that whole video where the girl wanted to prank her mom and she went off to, don't say this in my car. If God is within you, then you need to die and come back. Like, right there, you're basically telling your child to prove a point. Right? You're calling her bluff for her power. And you're telling her that she's not safe nor comfortable. Well, she should not be safe enough. She should not be safe enough to question you about anything, including God. That is how much fear that they put in our people, that your own child cannot genuinely ask you about God. They put that much fear in our black people that the upcoming generations beyond them cannot ask about the confusion that goes on in this religion. Because it's something where adults don't have to take accountability. It's just hand it on to God. Let God handle it. Right? Adults don't like to hold themselves accountable. So when religion comes into play, they weaponize it. Don't question me about this. Is this controlling thing? Oh my gosh. Grandmas and moms want to beat you upside the head with the Bible. How the fuck are we abusing in the name of Jesus? I don't even have to finish. Like, do you see what I'm saying? How are you mad at the child for not paying attention to what's going on in church? And because you're so worried about being embarrassed, you decide to embarrass the child and beat the child up against their head with the fucking Bible. Abuse. Again, this religion will make you abuse your child for the sake of an entity validation. They already don't like women, and they already definitely don't like fucking children. So they let your ass sit up in their goddamn church while you abuse your child for the word of a God. Supposedly. Like, the loop, the pattern, it's disgusting on our people. And then why y'all want to say, like, am I the only person who disagrees with how Yeshua died? Like, I honestly don't give a fuck about this story of how they try to make it holy, because I don't see nothing holy about it. It pisses me off. Like, it pisses me off how Yeshua was here healing people, and he was supposedly that was the way of him supposed to die, and he dies for our sins, but yet it's 2025 and he passed away in what, like BC, AD, like whatever, and people are still raping children, trafficking children, eating children. So no, I don't look at Yeshua as he died for my sins. I looked at this story as they try to make it a fucking example of, if you do anything out of our will, we are going to fucking kill you. That's what I get from his story. I don't get nothing holy from his story, and that's what pisses me off. So no, religion is not needed. Because while they try to sit here and rewrite a disgusting ass story to make it sound holy, it's fucked up. It's disgusting. So no, I would not be entertaining anyone's religion. And yes, religion needs to fall. Religion is not needed. Because the mental and the physical and the emotional and the spiritual damage that it does on people. And if this world needs to reevaluate itself, it needs to, harmonize, right? The world, the people, we need to harmonize. We need to move on love. Right? Love is an act of service. It's a genuine, okay? Genuine act of service. That's what love is. You genuinely want to act out of love, right? Because you already hold it. Love is bigger than anything, because when you do something for love, you can't stop it. So if everyone wanted to act as one love, if everyone wanted to come together as love, we're all acting as one. That is bigger than any God you can even name, you can even imagine. Right? We act as one love, harmonizing on a higher frequency, love. We see places where beauty is birthed, where beauty is untouched. We know that there's better in people. But because people act out of ego, they act out of control, it's going to continue on a balance of chaos. Chaos is good at times, but at it being at a higher scale, no. The balance is love with chaos, right? Because you have to have that light, you have to have that dark. There's a balance that has to happen. And true love doesn't happen unless you know the type of love you hold within yourself. This is why many relationships, many family members cannot get it together because no one wants to do the internal work. You have to do the internal work. You have to gain that self-knowledge of self. How do you handle emotions? Who are you beyond the titles? What does love mean for you? What genuine act of service can you provide for others in your community? You do not wake up and just think you're better than the next person when there's children who are homeless. There's children who didn't ask to be birthed in the environments they are in, but yet they are in there. And what makes it fair for a family to not have children because the world wants to be run by nasty people? How is that fair? It's not. So, with all of this going on, right? Children losing identities, mental illness, these patterns, all of these, right? When you look at everything, do you really believe the God that they portray to you? You can wake up every day. You can pray for your life. You can go into your fancy car, your beautiful home, your beautiful family. Believe in an external God that they put on you. Meanwhile, you know that there are children being trafficked, raped, stolen. For the sake of just weird individual people. I can't sit in church ever again until I see no more kids being trafficked, until I see no more people in famine. Because right now, the black culture, the community is under a fat ass spell. I see the bullshit, many other people see the bullshit, and we are done with the bullshit. So if you can still sit up in church every Sunday, by all means, you do what you do. But I stand on what I say. Religion is not needed. Religion needs to go. This is an outdated system that has fucked people up very bad for years. Just because it's history does not mean it needs to be repeated. History, oh my gosh. History is there for awareness, there for us to know and understand what the fuck happened before us. But just because it's history does not mean it needs to be repeated. Right? And for the fact that, first of all, the Bible originally came from our people, and they've already taken out so many books anyway. And King James only rewrote the Bible because they were having fights between the Geneva Bible, the Geneva Bible and the other Bibles. So They begged him to rewrite the Bible. And because of that, again, validation. It's never really about the true meaning of anything. You were being begged to rewrite the Bible for the comfort of other people's opinions and emotions? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, fuck the truth, right? Because the truth hurts. So fuck the truth. Let me water this down a little bit. Let me change this up a little bit to make these people feel better about the messaging. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are we fucking serious? But y'all swear about this book so much. Yes, you can skip over and through the bullshit. You can. Yes. But at the end of the day, the way these people be going in on this Bible, and they co-energy behind this shit, they don't really know the fucked up shit that they're into. Right? Like, at first, Christians were being killed. But now you're being praised. Because of Constantine? Because he decided to make religion legal, but at first it was illegal. Like, it's too much back and forth. And I go through the root. I go back to back, and everybody's not doing this. This is why they don't allow themselves to gain this extra knowledge. They just want to take what they know, take what was handed to them, and run with it. No, I'm asking questions and I'm going deep. Because why is this even a legal and illegal thing? Constantine realized the power that they can hold, right? When you mess with spirituality, you can't just manipulate the entire thing. You can't. You still have to put truth in it, but still manipulate it with your bullshit. That's what they did. This is why people still feel drawn to the Bible, because it does have some truth in it. Whereas you do have to decode where the truth is to where the bullshit is. Because if you're not, you're going to get distracted and pulled into their bullshit. That's the danger. You know, like, that's the danger of falling into their loops. And I don't think that people really understand how Christianity came about. I don't think people understand how, the Christian people were treated. One minute they killed all the Christian people because they felt like y'all were in the way. But now they allow y'all to walk freely, praise freely, worship freely, give y'all legal rights, all this nonsense, right? But way before that, people had their own closed spiritual practices. But because Constantine made this illegal, Christians are better than everybody else. Christians are better than this spiritual practice, these people. You see the division? They realize that politically we can divide them. Democrat, Republic, or monarch to monarch, whatever, right? All the way back from Roman times, Babylonian times, like far, The political division was there. But they're like, we need something stronger. What can we do to populate the world? What can we do? And there it was. to rewrite the Bible, to make it legal. So, and then on top of that, was Yeshua even in the Old Testament? Was he even in the Old Testament or just the New Testament? Like, if a Bible, first of all, if a Bible of the source is supposed to be written in its authentic original text, why the fuck is it being written so many times and books being taken out, taken in, taken out, taken in? No. Because as a person that writes books, as a person who is an author, you're not going to take my book, take my words, and rewrite them for the sake of other people's feelings. If someone was to go take my Fuck Your Black History Month article and rewrite it and rewrote what I said about Fuck Black History Month, if somebody would have reworded that, no, don't take my truth out of my words. And I don't give a fuck who can't read it. Right? If a French person pick up my book and they want to pick up my book and they can't read it, I'm sorry. But you know what? There's translations. And translations don't rewrite your script. It just translates into a different language. But that's not what they did. They strictly rewrote shit. Took things out. How are you doing that? That's not original text. So, no. You have no argument. Christianity has no arguments. Like, they have to sit back. Like, sit back because y'all have no arguments. Y'all don't even know the true meaning of y'all own stuff. Y'all don't want to do the research. Y'all don't want to. When it's there, but y'all don't want to. Because if y'all did the research, y'all wouldn't be calling yourselves Christians. If y'all truly sat down and did the research, y'all would not call yourselves a Christian. You will act more out of love. You will act more in awareness. But you don't. Many of you act out of ignorance. Many of you act out of gullibility, like very gullible, very insecure, very judgmental. Like, do y'all not just get a toothpick? Oh, that's a toothpick. Get an ear thing. Like, are y'all hearing me right now? Or do y'all not hear? Do y'all not hear the damaging? Like, it just can't be me. Like, the lies, and I knew it was something when I used to sit in church as a young child and I would look at people and, you know, I would look at people and I just be like, what do y'all see in this shit? Yeah, including my mom too. Like, you know, what do you see in this shit? So it was so cool to have her transition from Christianity to, you know, we went to Jehovah's Witness, you know, dabbed our toes in there, to going straight full-blown spiritual, like back to the roots, back to spirituality. And I really love her for that. Like, my deuce is dope for that. Like, and she sit here and she tells me how she felt as a Christian, you know, and They make you hate herbs. They make you hate yourself. They make you hate your own spiritual practices, your own culture. Like, it's so much hate, it's so much fear that's built into this religion, that's built into this occult, that it needs to go. It needs to. Like, it's not even just a saying, it needs to go. It's an outdated system that has been fucking up the people. And this spell needs to be uplifted. This system needs to be erased. This framework needs to be burned. Like, all of it. All of it. You have no true reason, no true explanation of why religion is needed. Because it's not. It's not needed. People want to make it feel needed, but it's not needed. It's a want. You want to go to church for community. It's not needed. Take your ass outside in the neighborhood. Connect with your people. Go to the library. You feel me? Like, y'all get so wrapped up in church. Oh, I just need church for the community. No, the fuck you don't. There's community everywhere. Some of y'all live in gated communities. Right? That's your church. Y'all can sit out in the damn street and praise and preach and shout. Whatever y'all want to do in your gated community. You don't need a church. Y'all make it a need and it's not needed, and you wonder why you feel like your power is leaking. Because this is one of the main sources. You wonder why you can't start a business. You wonder why you can't think in business. You wonder why you can't think at work. Or you wonder why you're so drained. You're so burnt out. You're so tired. You're putting yourself in a bucket full of low energy. And many of you do not realize that you are empaths. And you wonder why you feel so drained. Many of us have gifts and you ignore them. Stop ignoring your gifts. Stop avoiding your gifts. Stop avoiding your inner self. Like, if Jesus was to come on, if Jesus was to really show his ass, like physically, oh, y'all would have hated him. Y'all would have hated him. Because they painted him in the Bible as this holy person, but he disliked this exact thing. He disliked religion. He disliked the fucked up systems. But yet y'all put him in your system. He didn't like this. And y'all are sitting here allowing them to do this to a person who sat here and fought for this exact thing to not happen. Like, y'all are not doing your research. Y'all not. Y'all not. Because the same person that y'all are yelling and reaching out about didn't even want this in the first fucking place. He called out the bullshit that higher ups, the systems, hold. And yet here y'all go, withholding them with his name on it. That's a fucking smack in the face. A huge smack in the fucking face. But y'all don't care though, because y'all so feared. I got a tattoo on me that said, God is always with me. I couldn't even be here if my name wasn't even named Gabrielle. My mother made a deal with the higher ups. So I know how the energy of source works. It's non-linear. It's not limited. Stop limiting source. Stop dividing source and community. You're not better than someone because you're a fucking Christian. You're actually worse. Because you're gullible, you're vulnerable. And vulnerability is not bad. But in the state of how things are happening, oh yeah, it's bad. So, until I stop seeing famine, child trafficking, pedophiles, fuck, you name it. If I once I stop seeing all this disgusting shit, then maybe you will see me in someone's fucking church. But until then, no. Burn the churches down. Burn this religion down. Burn this framework down. Fuck all of it. Because the true meaning of divine power will be love, will be active service, will be genuine, will be self-knowledge, intelligence, wisdom. You got to be wise. You got to hold knowledge beyond what you are just taught. These are things you have to do. You can't keep, I'm going to hand it off to God. I'm going to just let it go. I'm done. I'm going to just hang it up. No, you can't just do that. You, as the woman, have to take the motherly stance. And when I say motherly energy, that does not mean being a mother to someone. Motherly energy, like I stated at the beginning, was nurture, caring. You don't have to be a mother to your neighbor to have to care for them. Now, I'm not saying that, you can help the whole entire world. You're going to be here fucking Miss Captain Save-A-Ho. We ain't talking about none of that shit, right? The work is individual first. This is why you need to understand the phases of Lilith, Eve, and Sophia. Lilith is the individual being understanding her I am. Eve is the integration, the co-creation of, okay, I found myself, now I can allow myself to be with someone else. That's co-creation. Sophia comes in as I know myself, I am able to cope with other people and manage myself with other people. Now I am one with everyone and everything around me, including source. There's levels to this shit. There's levels to higher consciousness. People need higher consciousness. Not about religion, not about patriarchy, matriarchy, none of that shit. Everyone needs to be on a level of gaining higher consciousness, helping each other. Right? And no, I'm not no atheist. I do believe in a higher source. But just looking at religion and their story, I see why people just completely clock out of all of this. I see why. This is why I say I allow myself to listen, to observe, and to analyze everything. You cannot be mad at atheist people because look at the stories that they give you to believe. So this is why I say you can't judge people because, for one, people's environment is different. Two, Look at what we were handed. And this is supposed to be the belief system we're supposed to be handing all our power to? That's crazy. Crazy work. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end this off because I didn't talk for about an hour. I did not expect for me to be on this thing for an hour. Man, talk to y'all soon. I might drop a part 2 because I just be having so much to say about this stuff. If y'all have any questions in the comments, please leave them in the comments and I can answer them based off dropping another audio episode for y'all. I can do some content, you know. Let me know your questions. Let me know what you've been through. Let me know what you want me to speak on. Let me know your thoughts, okay? Chat soon.